Hello, sport fans, and welcome to our new program, Tuesdays on the Edge, our version of Overreaction Monday. I'm Rowdy, and joining me as always is the fantastic Big Boy and the always interesting Coop. How we doing?
Good, good. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Oh, ready for this? Tuesday on the Edge. Everyone's got their overreaction Monday, but we had to spice it up a little bit. So we got our Tuesdays on the Edge, looking back on everything that has happened this past weekend when it comes to the sports landscape. But before we really get going, I got something to get off my chest, and it is college football fans that hate the Texas Longhorns for whatever reason that is. And I don't understand. They're 9-1, guys. 9-1, right? They cannot be hating on the Longhorns for being 9-1. I don't care how many close games they've had, how many almost blown leads. Look at TCU last year, 7-1 in one-score games. There's no difference. So stop hating on the Texas Longhorns. All these other college football fans, Big Boy, we lost your video. There you go.
Got it.
But when it comes to the Longhorn fans too, I all weekend griping, right? I understand griping about another fourth quarter almost blown lead. But listen, when the season started, you had your expectation for these Texas Longhorns, and they should not change because it's what has happened in the midseason, right? Just because Texas, beats Bama, looks like this college football playoff team, go ask yourself at the start of this season, what were your expectations for them? Most were 9 wins, 10 wins, Big 12 championship appearance, maybe one in the Big 12, right? Now, all of a sudden, there's 9-1, number 7 team in the fucking nation, and now we're flipping shit because, these losses are going to, or these close wins are going to make our college football playoff hopes not look so good. I don't give two shits. Don't change your expectations just because the season's gone. They're still 9-1, just like Jay Witt said. 9-1. Where's all this hate at for being 9-1? We have not had 9 wins since, for one, Sam Ellinger's year, but then before that, 2009. So quit acting like this is something that happens every year. Maybe if we had 10 wins the last 5 years, then we can complain. But I just needed to get that off
Well,
my
here's
chest.
one thing. Here's one thing. Why
That's
the whole
killing me.
world hates the Texas Longhorns, they hate us because they ain't us, is like what I like to say. Here's the next thing, too. They listen, the Alabama fans are mad, you know, that we beat them, and we're really riding on that win for our resume. But a win's a win. I think the Big 12 is a top 3 conference for sure, maybe even top 2. Um, and I think that what you have something to say about that?
I don't know about
I
that.
think the Big 12 is a top 3 conference. I think the Big 12 is top 3 conference.
Okay,
I
that's
think they're
fine.
four. I think they're four. I think the Pac-10,
Well,
Big 10, SEC, not in that order, and then the Big
I don't
12.
know, bro.
It's not the ACC is worse. So if you want to say Florida State, with their cupcake ass schedule,
Yeah,
but
exactly. I know. My point is that the winner for the Big 12 championship with one loss, if you're a one-loss team and you win the Big 12 championship, I think you should go to the college football playoff.
we'll see
Listen,
how it all works out, I think. And I don't want to make this a whole Texas show, but I 100% agree. If on August 8th or whatever, I said, look, the Quinn is going to miss a couple games. Sanders is going to miss games. Majors,
Watts.
7, yeah. Watts, Catalan is never going to be right. I mean, hopefully he is now, but Catalan's hurt all the time. I mean, all these injuries. If I told you that, and you would definitely take 9-1. I don't care how it is. Do I think it'll affect the playoff? I am worried about that, but we got to get there first. If we can just get to the Big 12 championship and win it, I really believe everything else will work itself out. It always does. It always does. We talk about this every year, but somebody's going to take an L. Somebody
Yep.
will take an L. We know Michigan or Ohio State will. Now, is their resume going to be better with a one loss of, to the number 2 or 1 team, whatever they're going to be at the time? But it'll
We'll
all
see.
work itself.
I mean, like you said, like going back to the year, just to be in the. If you would have told me start of the season that we'd be in contention and the playoff talk in week 11 of the college football season, like, come on.
Yeah.
I mean,
No doubt.
that's exactly
No
where
doubt.
they wanted to be at this time. And last Texas thing before we move on, because this is a short episode than the normal sports roundtable trio edition every Friday at noon. Don't miss that. Also, real quick, that last episode doing numbers, boys. Love all the new fans, support all the new subscribers we got. Hope you tune into this one. Tune in this Friday at noon. But last thing too, last couple of days, news is starting to break. Quinn's probably coming back more than likely next year. So now you got all these Texas haters and irresponsible college football fans that don't know what they're talking about. That, oh, here goes Arch Manning. Arch Manning's gone. Blah 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 blah. Is Arch Manning even that good if Quinn's having to come back? Like, for one, any Texas fan should not complain about Quinn Ewers coming back. That is a third-year experienced quarterback going into the first year of SEC. You would much rather have that than a redshirt freshman Arch Manning who has not played in the game. So there's
He's
that.
he's gonna be the first quarterback to win a Big 12 championship and an SEC championship.
Yeah, probably so. But and then besides that, all these other college football fans who are saying this, oh, Arch is transferring, all this bullshit. Yeah, you're the same people who said that Arch was not going to pick Texas out of high school over Bama and LSU and Georgia and Tennessee and Ole Miss. He's not going anywhere. The Mannings love where he is at. This has been the plan. He came to Texas to be, one, under the program in Texas, 2, to be with a quarterback room with Quinn Ewers, and 3, to be coached under Sark, because Sark knows what he's doing with the quarterback. He has the proven record, and that's all they care about. So that is that on Arch Manning. He is not going anywhere. He will be just fine being the second string next year, and then have 2, maybe even 3 years to run it up in the SEC and go win some natties. So there's that. And I'm already tired of seeing it. And it's been 2 days. It's about to have another 2 months of it, and it's just wearing me out already. But
I agree. I think he's going to stay. I hope he does. I mean, financially, NIL, I don't think will be an issue. Like a lot of kids, it would be. Another school can come in and say, hey, we'll give you a lot of money. I think he wants to be here. And I think, trust me, this has been discussed with the Mannings. All right. This is not just, they didn't just find out like we did. This has been discussed with the Mannings, saying, look, this is what we're going to do. And if he does, he does, man. I mean, we got to go with the quarterback we have. I hope he doesn't. But I definitely think Malik's gone.
Malik is.
Which, I mean, at this point,
too, I don't blame him.
Yeah,
Get out.
Blame him. I mean, you weren't going to expect Quinn to come back. Obviously, it makes sense for Quinn to come back, for one. You look at, he hasn't had quite the year you wanted to. So, I mean, still had a good year, just not a great year. Then you have in the fact him being hurt again, missing a couple games. 3, technically, this is not even his draft class. He does not graduate high school early. Next year is his draft class anyways. So people are still forgetting that he skipped senior year. So he's still a young dude, and his draft class should not even be until next year anyways. But with that being said, and that Longhorn talk, we're going to get to over the edge. Is obviously now Jimbo Fisher finally got pushed over that edge, like we like to say. And he is gone, but he is gone with some barrels of money coming behind him.
Which door do you want me to walk out of for that $77 million you're going to give me? Which one? Which freaking door you want me to go out of? Listen, I saw a thing. His first offensive coordinator job, he made $20,000 a year. He's going to make $26,000 a day for the next 8 years of his life. That's freaking crazy.
It's not bad. And
That's
they,
wild.
and to get to real stuff as a UT fan, that is, people are saying that job isn't, this and that. I think that's one of the best jobs as a coach. If you look at it, it's made ready to win. And they're going to give you the support. I'm not an Aggie fan, but it don't matter if they're 2-10, that stadium will be full. And the boosters and stuff like that. There's so much money around that program. Any coach, there's only about 5 coaches or so that would say no. Like to me, if they got offered it.
I
And
I think
it's a great job.
I think so to a certain degree, but when you get really into the depths of it, and Chip Brown talked about this week, I listened to him, and how much turnover there's been in the AD and president position at A&M, all has to do with their head chancellor, who's one of their top boosters, who likes to be a dictator and really control things. And they've been through 4 ADs in the last 4 years, been through like 3 different presidents in the last 5 years. The athletic department as a whole over there is a shit show. And I think that's going to be the one thing that, like, maybe you can't go pull like another Jimbo Fisher like they pulled from a winning Florida State team. Like, they're not going to be able to go pull a Dan Lanning. They're not going to go be able to pull a Mike Norvell. They're not leaving what they have on those 2 schools in their second year, only their second year, playoff contention. They're not leaving to go to A&M, just because of the fan base, because of the roster they have now. Like,
those schools have backing, though. Those schools, trust me, Oregon, Nike is about to cut a check to him. So it's all good.
Yeah.
Florida State, they got money. I mean, they might not have A&M money, but they have enough money to keep him if that was someone they'd look after. But any coach is going to say, I can turn that around. Next year, I'll be in contention with those type of players. Because coaches have egos, and those egos are going to say, I can win there. Jimbo, he's just shitty. I can win there. I mean, so like I said, besides Saban, Kirby, I mean, and maybe those 2 and Sark, I mean, Brian Kelly, maybe. I mean, the money talks too, because they're going to make you a rich man to go there.
And they're already about to be $100 million, so you might as well go ahead and spend another $50 million at this point.
Nobody from A&M can talk about any academics ever again. That's all I can say.
Well, not only that, but then you're going to have the fact of how much, and Chip's really been a hitter on it this week, how much influence Texas being 9-1 going into the SEC next year really had an influence on them canning Jimbo now, before Jimbo goes out and wins at whoever their non-conference game is, and then somehow pulls off a victory against LSU and finishes 8-5 on the year, whatever it is, 8-4. So
like you did last year.
Exactly.
But has Jimbo done great, like, in any of the seasons he's coached there?
The only season he did good was
one season he finished top 5.
Yeah, it was the COVID season.
Okay.
He was 9-1, finished 5th in the college football playoff, got that raised, and that was it.
Okay, so I've never been high on Jimbo, though. I think we all really haven't. He's been there for 6 years. All of his players, he's got all of their players. They have no excuse to not do that. You know what I'm saying? They had one of the top best, in my opinion, they had the best recruiting class almost ever at one point. So
to numbers they do.
So that's
down
his
to
problem.
the numbers they did. So I mean,
we'll see. I think they go after, though.
I mean, they're going to try and get those big boy names, like we mentioned. I just don't think they're going to be able to because of all those schools do have that money to their disposal. I mean, they're going to have to go after.
Jeff Traylor is not a big name hire, but man, he would be a great hire. That's what I've thought.
I think so too. I just think, those boosters running that show over there, like they're gonna reach for some of these bigger name guys that are somewhere else.
That would be crazy.
Or like a James Franklin of the world, like some of these other like big time like top 25 teams that like they could maybe try and pull away, which maybe they should go after Mike Elko at Duke, their old DC.
I was going to say, I think Mike at Duke.
That would be their best fit. If you're trying to retain the roster you have now, your first 2 things at A&M, you're going to hire Mike Elko, and then your now intern head coach, you're going to keep him and hire him as your DC because that's where the talent is on that defense side of the ball. And that's why, like, Dominic McKinley came out this week and said, as long as he's there, like, I'm coming. So if they want that side of things, then that's what they need to do. Now, it just kind of depends on, do they want that splash hire or do they want to keep guys? Like, it's kind of the direction they want to go, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think old Big Mike from Duke will be a good hire. I've also seen some stuff about old Dion going over there.
Hey,
I mean, it would be a splash, but you're going to turn into the same thing you have with Jimbo now. Like, you're going to get they already got recruits. Like, they have the recruits.
But the difference with Dion, he will put his coaches in there and let them coach.
Yeah, and
Jimbo,
I agree.
yeah.
And you gotta
Dion
see what
say-
Dion's done. He's been kind of on the down low in the middle of the season, but like compared to last year's Colorado team and this year's Colorado team, it's a freaking night and day difference.
I don't know.
I mean,
it would be crazy if they went after Dion. Though.
Dion will not. He would not fit in with those guys over there when it comes to their donors. Like
Dion can fit in with anybody. He's a superstar. I mean, come on.
That would just shake some stuff up,
room in America and sell you. Dion is a salesman. He's a great talker. And he's an old school coach too. Everyone gets lost in the shit talk and everything. Dion is an old school coach. He does not play. And that's I mean, I don't know.
Maybe if it was like a year out, possibly like another Colorado season under his belt, but he's not going to do it
I don't think he'd leave his kid.
No, well, that's what I was about to say.
Right?
Yeah, no, he couldn't transfer. Travis Hunter couldn't transfer. They all got one more year next year. Like I could see if he's gonna make a move, like it could be after next year. Like after he gets those dudes gone, we'll see what kind of recruiting class he finishes with. But
there was a 5-star receiver that was committed to them, and he came out today. I can't remember his name and said, I'm decommitting because I don't think Dion will be there.
Yeah, I saw that. And before he committed to Colorado, he was also committed to the Texas A&M Aggies, by the way. So.
Oh, was he?
Yep. So he's like a 2025 or 2026. So he's already decommitted twice. So I mean, at that point, some coaches are gonna be like, "Oh, we don't even want you in this program because you're just gonna hit the portal when you don't play as a freshman." But with that being said, let's ride over to the NFL. There's a lot of people on the edge in the NFL, boys, when it comes to fan bases, teams, owners, players, coaches, some head coaches on the edge.
Coaches are getting fired, man. There's a bunch of coaches getting fired.
Bill's OC got pushed off that edge already. He's gone. A lot more coaches on the edge, players on the edge. But let's talk about someone who's not even close to falling off this Tuesday on the edge, and that is DJ Stroud and the Houston Texans and DeMarco
Hit the
Murray.
freaking bets with the MVP. That's my MVP. I hit it the other day. He's my lock for the MVP. Listen, if the Texans can go win the division, which is very, very possible with how they're playing, he will win the MVP. You cannot name a better quarterback than the Texans were 11 and like 30 something the past 3 years. He's turned that around, guys. Turned it around. You can like him, hate him. I don't care. No one else has done it. So he's my lock for the MVP.
I put a little money on it today, honestly, on him plus 2,000, and my boy Dak was plus 3,300, and I put some money on him. So
I dropped some money on old CJ.
I've been thinking about it, but I'd want to parlay it with Coach of the Year, DeMarco Murray, because if CJ wins MVP. Or Ryans, DeMarco Ryans. Because if CJ wins MVP, DeMarco Ryans is winning Coach of the Year because that means they made it to the playoffs and made some noise in the playoffs. So
he was second. He was like second. I can't remember who was number one.
I'm sure. I mean, if the Texans keep playing how they are, they've already beat the Jags once, so the division is not out of reach by any means. But if they go win that division, that'll be the MVP. Guaranteed.
And like Kobe said, they're about to hit a little easier part of their schedule, just like the Cowboys. The Cowboys' next 3 games, they should dominate.
Yeah.
So I think Dak's going to start getting some hype around that. You know what I mean? And Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, they got a tough like 3 or 4 games coming up. They got a very tough schedule. So
No doubt. Now, that is someone, like we said, not on the edge, right? Our Tuesday's on the edge. Talking about guys who are this close to falling off, fans reaching their breaking point, and there's none better right now than Josh Allen. His OC off the ledge, gone. He's out, gone. New OC, y'all know who his new OC is?
Uh-uh.
Joe Brady. That is the new intern OC.
Wow.
So we'll see if it was really just the OC's fault. But they don't fire their OC if they don't have 12 guys on the field last night. Whenever they should have won after
On the
the
missed field goal.
after the missed field goals. So
I also saw a thing that the holder was wearing pine tar on his hand. I saw a little,
that was BS though.
and the guy goes, "It's only illegal if you don't have 12 men on the field."
I mean, but good.
No, go ahead.
I mean, when it comes to that, like, yeah, the OC, but I mean, Josh Allen is
Josh Allen
bad.
didn't. I mean, the OC didn't fumble yesterday when trying to make a handoff. I mean,
Yeah.
some of those throws.
That's fundamental stuff, man. At that
He has a
level.
lot of turnovers, man, and those aren't all on the OC.
No, I mean,
agree.
and that's the thing. Is like the last couple of years, like he's had these big, high-powered turnovers, like, but then he's had those big, high-powered touchdowns to go right with them, and he's had Diggs going crazy. You got Travion Diggs tweeting out for his brother Stephon Diggs, telling him to get out of there, let him out of there. It's bad. Like, there's something else going on in that locker room that is not good, and I feel bad for Bills Mafia right now. There's someone who are right on that edge, and they're close to jumping off.
That fan base is freaking huge too. That fan base is crazy. So
yeah, it's
they
not
lost.
an easy
They
fan
lost
base.
4 Super Bowls in a row, so there's not much worse you can get than that. You know.
I mean, that is bad. Talk about staying in the same AFC East, right there on that edge, and some new stuff came out today. You got the Patriots and Bill Belichick, Mr. GM and the head coach. Bad showing in Germany. Just bad from the whole team. But that offense, another problem. Mac Jones, Bill O'Brien. I don't know why people love Bill O'Brien.
well,
We've always
here's the
hated
thing.
him.
I've been a Texans fan for a while. Bill O'Brien is awful. I mean, I don't know where that was a whole idea. He was bad then. Did they what did he do at Alabama as OC? Did they win or no?
No, their offense sucked last year.
Okay, great, awesome. Bad at freaking Alabama, bad at New England. So I don't.
Well, he was good in New England before, and at Penn State. I mean, he's not. I think in the Texans, he took on too many roles.
Right.
He was trying to be Belichick of the South, but do you think they'll really fire Belichick? Do you think that's possible?
I think they're going to part ways. I don't know who came on the Pat McAfee show today. His name's Dan. I think it's Dan something. I can't remember his name, but he broke on there that it's a done deal and that he's already got where he's going next to be head coach GM. So he did not say anything else, but Pat and them were going insane whenever he said that. Not if they keep winning.
Well, here's the thing I'll say about that is like, no matter what Bill does, I still respect him as a coach. I think he's one of the best coaches of all time. Same thing. He reminds me of the Nick Saban. I mean, he's the Nick Saban of the NFL. For either one, I think no matter what happens, they're still going to go down as one of the best coaches ever. So,
where would he go? The Cardinals?
I don't know.
Oh, the Chargers.
That's a good one. Chargers.
Staley's gone. I mean, let's just get real. He's dead man walking.
Oh yeah, Chargers. I mean, maybe
Chicago.
The Giants. I mean, maybe
Aaron Rodgers. Come on.
The Panthers. Give him Bryce Young.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one more. Who
I go
ran
to the
this back?
Chargers. You're in California,
Oh yeah,
San Diego.
Nice out. Yeah. You have to deal with
Yeah,
the
get away
snow.
from New England. It's too cold.
Yeah.
maybe the Commanders too is one they talked about. Oh, get Ron out of there, but
Well,
we'll
go to
see.
Mac Jones. Mac Jones has been awful too, man. So it's
Listen,
the same thing, man.
the
Like it's
Northeast is
hard to
just not
win
built
without
for
a
football
quarterback.
right now. Yeah, I mean, it is just not built for football right now up in the Northeast, and those fan bases are right there
Except
on the
for
side.
Philly. If you consider Philly the Northeast,
Yeah,
they're
besides Philly, but your AFC East. I mean, you got the Bills fans on this left side of this edge. You got the Patriots fans on the right side, and then who else you got in there?
Giants.
The
Gi-
the Giants are up there, not AFC East, but they're up there. Then you
yeah.
got who else is in the AFC East?
Dolphins.
Dolphins. They're good. They're down there in Miami, South Beach with the sun, warm weather. They're chilling on the beach. They're not on this edge. And then who's the last one? Jets, right?
Jets, Bills, Patriots,
Yeah. And then
Miami.
you got the Jets, classic Jets with no Aaron Rodgers still, and not scoring a
I
touchdown the
saw him
last.
actually today. He's gonna
Listen,
come back.
that man is like a Superman. I mean,
Or he's on some
he
good
just
Superman
freaking
stuff.
got hurt
On
like
some
2 months
good
ago.
Superman
Oh,
TRT or something.
that's where everyone that he just made that rehab facility and his surgeon a lot of money because
Oh yeah.
any sport now that happens, they're going straight to that guy. And Aaron should write his own program and sell that thing because he can make some extra little side cash with how fast he's coming back.
TB12.
But with that being said, we got a couple more people for today's Tuesdays on the Edge. I'm glad we're doing this. I hope all our new fans and our old supporters who've been there since the first episode enjoy this. I know we're going to enjoy it. But someone who's not on the edge and someone who's shocking me over the weekend, them Georgia Bulldogs. If they're not number one tonight when the college football rankings come out, bro, come on. Come on. I mean, yes, Ohio State beat Notre Dame, Penn State. Where are they at now, right? They're not even close to the top 10. Oh, Georgia to Ole Miss. Ole Miss is a top 10 team, and Georgia just, oh my God.
Well, I
That
mean,
was
they've
bad.
been seeing people putting them at not number one all year, saying, oh, they've been having too many close games, not beating people as bad as they should, and then they go and do that. To Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss, come on.
Again, it'll all work itself out. But Georgia, I mean, they haven't lost. So I mean, two-time defending champions.
Now that
They're
SEC championship game is going to be crazy with how hot them Roll Tide, man. They're
always
doing
is.
good. They're doing good.
Yeah. I mean, and the crazy thing is, like, that's already clinched. Not like the Big 12 over here where you got all these three-way ties and tiebreakers that can happen. And the Big 12 just came out, and did you see they switched up their tiebreaker rules today?
No, I
No.
didn't say.
They fool on because if Kansas State, Oklahoma State, and OU were to win out, right, and Texas wins out, OU would get in over Kansas State and Oklahoma State, even though Oklahoma State beat Kansas State and OU. That was how the tiebreakers rules were set because OU and K State didn't play, so they can't go full head to head for those tiebreakers with how they worded it. But they came out today and reaffirmed that if that happens, Oklahoma State's the team that gets in. With obviously that's how it should be. They beat both of them,
Right.
but yeah, I mean it's just absolute shit show in the Big 12.
The Big 12, the team, it's not going to happen because the teams lose games that they're not supposed to every week. So it's just going to be.
Well, let's just hope it's not UT. That's
not.
all. I just
not.
want you to be in the game and give us a
We need to
chance
win these next 2
win the
weeks, week
last
by
Big
week.
12.
Let's get it.
Tell everybody to fucking kiss my ass on the way out.
I saw a thing today. If every single home team this weekend in the Big 12 was to win their game this coming weekend, that the Big 12 would have an 8-way tie for first place.
See, we don't need none of that bullshit.
None of that bull. None of that. But got a couple more minutes. And at the end of every episode, we're going to have our Tuesdays on the Edge awards. Instead of a player of the weekend, we got a player, team, or coach that's right there on the edge. And we're going to let Big Boy give it to you this week. Who's that Tuesdays guy on the edge?
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
Dobbs for Minnesota. I'm telling you, it's done. Like it was supposed to be done last week.
Yeah, and then he went and freaking shoved it
And
up
then
your
he
freaking
took my
butt
money.
and
He,
destroyed him.
he personally came in and took my money. It's got to end. It's got to end. So that's who mine is.
That he needs to get off that, push off that edge, and let the Vikings fall apart.
Yeah, just go back to being who you are, man. Quit fucking around. You cost me money last week.
Go back to who you are. Coop, you got any other ones you got?
I think old Mac Jones, man. I think he what I saw this past week, man. Oh, it was awful. I mean, and then the last fake spike play. Oh, I mean, it was awful. So bad. So
he's not off the ledge. He's hanging on. He's like cliffhanger. He's
yeah,
barely
exactly.
on.
Maybe by a little pinky.
Yeah, he's on a pinky finger. I'll go with who do I want to go with? I'm gonna go with Sean McDermott. I think they got a tough stretch coming up, and if they lose some of these games, with that fan base and that pressure to win up there and be good with Stephon Diggs and who Josh Allen has been before these last year. I mean, I guess the whole season, but I mean that's who's on the edge. Is they're gonna get rid of him first and throw him under the bus first before they throw Josh Allen under the bus. Now, if it was Dak Prescott up there, shit, they'd be calling for his head. They'd be calling for 100%. His head. But since it's Josh Allen and Josh Allen's name and Stephon Diggs, it's Sean McDermott who's on that edge and who's feeling that heat. But that brings us to the end of Tuesdays on the Edge adventure, guys. And we hope you enjoyed the ride as much as we did. And I'm pumped for this every Tuesday.
Guys, remember to like, subscribe. This is our new little thing on Tuesdays on the Edge. So tune in. And hey, let's get it going.
And also, don't forget, see you Friday at noon for the Sports Roundtable Trio Edition show. We'll see y'all
Pushing out more content for y'all. Let's get it.
Oh, yeah. See y'all Friday at noon. Peace.